Hello, my beautiful and radiant Leo souls. Welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom, your sacred space for hearing the grand pronouncements of the universe. I am your guide, and if you have found your way to this message at this precise moment in your journey, I want you to feel deep within the very core of your lion heart that this is no accident. This is a divine appointment. A royal decree is about to be read, and your soul has been summoned to hear it. Pause with me for just a moment, majestic one. Before we step into this golden throne room of truth, I invite you to find a place of stillness. Take a deep, sovereign breath in, filling your lungs with the light you so generously give to the world. Hold it for a count of 3, feeling your own inner power gathering, and then exhale, slowly releasing the weight of the crown, the burden of the stage, the exhaustion of constantly having to shine. Let your royal shoulders relax. Let your magnificent heart, which beats like a drum for the entire world to hear, open to receive. A truth it has been aching for, because the cosmos, in its infinite wisdom, is about to declare your karmic harvest a reward, not for your performance, but for the very essence of your being. Have you ever felt it, magnificent Leo, that strange paradox of your existence? You are the sun, the center of so many universes, warming everyone with your light, your generosity, and your breathtaking strength. You have stood on the stage of life, giving the performance of a lifetime, day after day, year after year. You have been the leader, the cheerleader, the protector, the one whose very presence assures everyone else that everything will be all right. You have held kingdoms together with the sheer force of your will and the boundless love in your heart. But then, when the curtain falls and the applause fades, have you ever returned to a silent, empty throne room, feeling a profound and aching loneliness, a chilling whisper that asks, "But who shines for the sun?" If this deep, unspoken truth resonates within the very marrow of your bones, if your soul is roaring in recognition, then I invite you to make a sacred pact with your own liberation right now. Seal this divine appointment by pressing that like button, not as a simple click, but as your royal seal upon this cosmic decree. And if you are ready to claim the abundance that is your birthright, then go to the comments now and declare your readiness to the universe by writing, "I am ready for my divine inheritance." See this act as the first step in claiming your kingdom. And finally, if this path feels like your true home, subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom. It is your sacred promise to yourself that you will never again walk this path of awakening alone. Let us journey forward, shall we? Because the truth about why the doors of true, soul-deep abundance have felt so heavy is about to be revealed. And the key, my beautiful Leo, has been in your possession all along. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be fiercely honest with yourself. How many times have you given your last spark of energy to ignite someone else's dream? How many times have you smiled, laughed, and projected an image of unbreakable strength only to collapse behind closed doors, feeling utterly depleted? You have carried the dreams of your family. You have been the unshakable foundation for your friends. You have been the brilliant star, guiding your partner through their darkest nights. And you believed with every fiber of your noble heart that this was your sacred duty, that to be the sun, you must constantly burn. Yet there is a painful truth your soul has been trying to tell you in the quiet moments. Your magnificent, generous hands have been so full of giving, so occupied with holding the world together that they have left no room to receive. I believe the divine never intended for your life to be a one-way performance. The universe created you not just to be a star, but to be a vessel for cosmic light meant to be endlessly refilled. And yet for so long, you have been a brilliant sun for the planets of others, while the inner garden of your own soul has quietly yearned for rain. This is the great paradox that has kept the gates of your kingdom just beyond your reach. Can you see the image in your mind's eye? A majestic king or queen seated on a golden throne, adorned in the most beautiful robes, holding a scepter of immense power. From the outside, you possess everything, but the throne is lonely, and the crown has become unbearably heavy. You are surrounded by subjects who applaud your strength, but few who dare to ask what your heart truly needs. That is you, Leo. All the potential for a life of breathtaking abundance, joy, and recognition lies within your grasp. You have the charisma, the creativity, and a heart forged in the very fires of the sun. But the invisible chain, the belief that your worth is tied to your performance, has anchored you just one step away from true soul-level freedom. And so every time a great fortune comes your way, it seems to be spent on others before you can even enjoy it. Every time a grand opportunity appears, it demands another Herculean effort, another performance, leaving you more tired than before. You pray, you create, you lead, and you believe the universe is testing your strength. But in truth, the universe is not testing you. It is sending you signs, whispering lovingly, "My dear child, it is time to change the script. Pause and look deep within your own heart." How many times have you told yourself, "If I just shine a little brighter, they will finally see me," or "If I just carry this burden for them one more time, then I can rest"? You continue to pour your golden light into the cups of others until your own inner flame begins to flicker and dim. But can you hear it? In the profound silence behind the roar of the crowd, your soul is whispering a powerful, life-altering truth: "I am worthy of receiving too." The most profound lesson on your path right now is not to stop shining, but to learn to shine for yourself first. True, lasting abundance does not flow towards a star that is burning itself out. It rushes towards a star that understands its own inherent unconditional value. Every gate that was once locked by the fear of being seen as selfish, by the guilt of putting your own needs first, by the terror of the applause stopping, that gate is now swinging wide open before your very eyes. Do you see it? That golden gate was never locked by anyone else. It was you in your magnificent loving heart, who held the key. You locked your own gate of abundance, believing that the more you gave, the more you performed, the more you would be loved and valued. But the cosmic truth is this: the more you abandoned your own needs for the sake of the performance, the farther you strayed from the divine inheritance that was already written in your name in the stars. And today, my beautiful Leo, destiny itself calls you to step forward into a sacred unlocking ritual, a coronation, a moment where the golden scepter of your own sovereignty is placed back into your hand. This isn't just a metaphor, it is a turning point, a sacred ceremony your soul has been awaiting across lifetimes. You have performed enough. You have shone for others enough. Now, it is your turn to be illuminated. It is your turn to receive. Stay with me, because what is coming next is not just an affirmation. It is a living ritual, a sacred anointing with fire and intention that will shift your entire energetic field. And when you write the words I will share with you, it will not be just a comment on a screen. It will be a royal decree sent out to the cosmos, a declaration that you are ready to step down from the lonely stage and into the warm, abundant embrace of a kingdom that loves you for who you are, not just for what you do. Do you dare to step across that threshold? Majestic Leo, breathe deeply with me now, for in the next moment, the golden key will turn and you will feel the vibration of true, unconditional abundance flowing into your heart like the light of 1,000 suns. Close your eyes for a moment, magnificent soul. Imagine you are standing in the center of a grand celestial throne room. Before you on a golden pedestal rests not a cup of water, but a single unlit candle. This candle is pure gold, and its wick is made of a fiber of light from your own heart. Now, from the heavens above, a single divine spark descends, touching the wick, and in an instant, a brilliant golden flame erupts, dancing with life warmth and an infinite self-sustaining energy. Can you feel it? A ritual has begun. So simple, it seems impossible, yet powerful enough to shatter the invisible chains of performance that have bound you for decades. For so long, you have carried the burden of being the light for everyone. You have absorbed the shadows of others, believing it was your duty to transmute them with your radiance. And slowly, your own divine energy became clouded by a subtle layer of exhaustion, the residue of applause, the weight of expectation, the false belief that to rest, to receive, to simply be is a sign of weakness. But now, it is this sacred inner flame that will burn away those layers of obligation. I believe the divine never intended for you to live in a state of constant output. The universe created you with a sun in your heart, a fire meant to warm you first. And in this sacred moment, you are finally giving yourself permission to feel its heat. You no longer have to bow your head to the thought that I am only as good as my last success. You are allowed to open your heart and receive praise, love, and abundance, not as payment for a service rendered, but as a natural tribute to your very existence. Think of your hands, radiant Leo. For so many years, they have been busy applauding others, lifting others up, creating and giving. But today you cup them around this sacred flame, not to shield it from the wind, but to finally feel its warmth for yourself. This is the moment you declare to the cosmos, I return the weight of expectation. I release the need for applause. My own light is enough. And as you do, the heavens let out a collective sigh of relief, for the universe knows you have begun your true journey back to your own sovereign throne. Perhaps you are asking, but can such a simple visualization really change my life? And the answer, my dear Leo, is this. It is not the ritual, but the permission that changes everything. The flame is only a symbol. You are the soul who decides when it is time to stop performing and start living. When you set your intention there, when you whisper to the universe, I am ready to be adored for who I am not, for what I do, every stone that has dammed the river of your abundance begins to crumble. You have lived for so long under the tyranny of the spotlight, believing it was your only source of power. Perhaps someone once told you that to be humble you must deflect praise, or that to be strong you must never show need. But the truth is, those were only roles you were taught to play. The divine does not wish for you to dim your own light to prove your humility. The divine desires for you to shine so brilliantly, so authentically, that your very presence becomes living proof that divine radiance is real. Imagine this, Leo. You write down the words, I claim my divine inheritance, not as a hopeful wish, but as a sacred and undeniable right. You are not begging the universe for a handout. You are not waiting for a miracle to be bestowed upon you from the outside. You are simply changing your own frequency like a king stepping up to the throne and a new majestic anthem beginning to play. And when you broadcast that new sovereign frequency, the entire universe reorganizes itself to match your vibration. You will notice the first signs almost immediately. A long-lost friend will call not to ask for something, but simply to tell you how much you mean to them. An unexpected check will arrive in the mail, a gift, a bonus, a forgotten return. An opportunity will arise that feels less like a job and more like a joyful act of creative play. These are not coincidences. These are the emissaries of the universe, bowing in recognition of your newfound sovereignty. They are reminding you that the kingdom is yours. The miracle of this ritual is not in the imaginary flame, it is in the release. Release from the belief that love is conditional. Release from the script that said, your happiness must always come after everyone else's. Release from the crushing weight of the crown that bent your back and dimmed your spirit. And when you let go of that, you lose nothing. You are simply returning a costume that was never truly yours. And you open your hands to welcome the royal robes that have always been yours: true abundance, unconditional love, and profound recognition. That is the true meaning of this ritual of reclamation, Leo. Let your heart rest for a moment and ask yourself, in the deepest chamber of your soul, am I ready to be loved for my being, not just for my doing? The instant you answer yes, the golden gates of your true kingdom begin to open. And on the other side is not just enough to get by, but a rushing golden river of such power and majesty that it will turn your entire life into a living testament of divine favor. Stay with me, because in the next part, I will tell you what happens when your heart is no longer an empty stage waiting for an audience, but a blazing sun radiating from its own power. That is the moment you will weep. Not from exhaustion, not from loneliness, but from the overwhelming joy of finally coming home to yourself. Now, magnificent Leo, imagine your heart. It is no longer a stage that feels empty when the audience leaves. It is now a blazing, self-sustaining sun. Its light and warmth overflow not because it is trying, but because that is its nature. This time, you are not afraid of running out of fuel because you have realized that this inner fire does not come from the applause or validation of others, but from a direct connection to the divine creative source of the entire universe. This is no longer a fragile flame that needs to be shielded. This is a glorious roaring bonfire, and you are its sovereign keeper. For years you have given from a place of perceived deficit. You offered your brightest smiles, your most dynamic energy, hoping someone would see the effort and applaud, hoping that would be enough to refuel you. But the harsh truth, my dear Leo, is that applause is fleeting. It fades, and in the silence, your heart would whisper, "I'm fine. The show must go on." But today, the universe whispers back to you, "The show is over, my beloved child. Life is now ready to begin." The cosmos is pouring a golden celestial light directly into your heart, the energy of abundance, of freedom, of true worthiness. And when your heart overflows with this divine light, your giving is no longer a performance born from a need for approval. It becomes an act of effortless, joyful radiance. That is the most profound difference. You may have wept in silence from the exhaustion of your performance, but one day, very soon, you will weep again. And those tears will be utterly different. They will be tears of overwhelming joy and recognition the moment you look in the mirror and see not a performer, but a sovereign ruler, and you finally understand, "I am full. I am enough. My very being is my gift." Then giving will no longer be a duty. It will be a natural expression of your radiant essence, like one great bonfire lighting 1,000 candles without any fear of diminishing its own flame. I believe this is the life the divine has always intended for you. The universe did not place you here to be a cosmic entertainer forever seeking validation. The universe placed you here to be a living testament that a heart aligned with its own divine worth becomes a miracle that illuminates the entire world. Remember the sun. It does not worry if the planets are grateful. It does not check to see if it is receiving enough applause. It simply shines because that is its nature. And in its shining, entire worlds are born and nourished. You, Leo, are that sun. Once the gate of conditional worth is finally unlocked, you will no longer fear depletion. You will see that your greatest gift to the world is not your performance, but your authentic, joyful, overflowing presence. Do you feel the subtle but revolutionary shift when you give from a place of needing applause? You wait for the reaction, for the thank you, for the validation. And when it doesn't come, your heart feels a sting of rejection. But when you give from a state of inner fullness, you need no external proof. You give because it is a joy to do so, knowing that your source is infinite and more is always on its way. This freedom, my majestic Leo, this is the true definition of a royal life. Try it now. Close your eyes and imagine a day in your near future. You wake up And your first thought is not about what you have to do, who you have to impress, or what problems you have to solve. Your first thought is a deep, peaceful sense of gratitude for the very light that you are. You breathe deeply, you smile, and you see yourself moving through your day, sharing an idea, a gift, a laugh, with no attachment to the outcome. There is no fear, only joy. That is you living in your true sovereign power. And the truth is, it is not a distant dream. It begins this very moment as you give yourself permission to be worthy just for being you. You have lived long enough playing a role on a stage. Now it is time to become familiar with the feeling of ruling your own inner kingdom. Believe this when you receive without guilt. You steal nothing from anyone. Instead, you create a new paradigm. For when you are truly full, your generosity will become a legendary force of nature, no longer tainted by sacrifice, but purely fueled by wholeness. Perhaps you feel a powerful warmth spreading through your chest right now, a kind of roaring expansion that goes beyond words. Do not be afraid of its intensity. That is your lion heart recognizing its own truth. You were never born to live a small, conditional life. You are living proof of the universe's magnificence. But Leo, this is only the beginning. This overflowing heart, this inner sun, will lead you to an even greater secret. The secret of the final key, the master key, that not only unlocks abundance in your world, but opens the very destiny of your soul. Stay, because in the final part of our journey, you will see the master key, the royal scepter, placed into your hand. And in that moment, you will understand that abundance was never something you had to chase. It has always been the very essence of your kingdom within.